Hi everyone, we are on the way to Montreal. We are going to share with you a little about the city of Montreal, and we will interview some people who can tell us a little about the social movement that exists between Canada and Palestine. What are the main reasons why this movement is becoming stronger? And here we go with Digital Rotor, your channel. Sociality section. Thank
Everybody
you.
knows that Canada is a country that rarely raised its voice. Its inhabitants are not used to social protests for some years. However, now social revolts have become more and more common. They are beginning to make a noise to bother the regular Canadians who don't know want to move and shout at the government for the injustices that they are experiencing. People in Palestine are dying, and a large part of the people are against to the current administration financing with the resources that come from the taxes of the Canadian society, when there are not many basic services or are in a deplorable conditions. Here we present a warrior of this social protest.
So we are against capitalism, first of all, but we understand that the state is not a neutral thing. It's not this unbiased thing that hangs above society. It's an expression of the way that we relate to each other within our classes. And so the reason that our state has an interest in this genocide happening right now is because it's profitable. The exact same reason that we don't have affordable housing, that we don't have free education, that we don't have, they can't pay our teachers and our nurses and
the taxes
our doctors.
are crazy.
The taxes are crazy, and it all goes to kill kids instead of giving us affordable housing, clean drinking water for the people up north, all this shit. They're connected. The reason we don't have the affordable shit we need here is the exact same reason that they're killing kids in Palestine.
Yeah, a lot of money. Okay.
And so that's why we're here as communists, is because we understand that it's the same struggle. It's against capitalism. It's not just against, Netanyahu. It's against everything that puts him in that position. Okay. That's why we're here.
So, are you fighting for because you want that the government could be better if the government will be neutral for you? That's what you mean?
We will have a biased government in the same way that a doctor is biased towards the health of the patient. It doesn't make him less scientific, right?
Okay.
So we are the party for the working class, or the party of the people who make society run. Not a wheel turns, not a light shines without the kind permission of the working class. Okay. So we're a revolutionary party, all right? So that doesn't mean that we're going to start a revolution. Revolutions happen whether we want to or not. It's kind of like an earthquake, right?
Okay.
Because we live in a class society, which is in order to have more than one class, you need groups of people that have interests that cannot be reconciled with each other. That's what makes a class, right?
Okay.
So the working class needs to get as much money for as little work as possible to remain competitive, and the capitalist class needs to get as much work out of you as possible for as little money as possible. These two interests are the exact opposite. They cannot coexist peacefully.
Exactly the opposite.
Exactly the opposite. And so the point of, revolution comes when those interests get so tense that there's a breaking point, kind of like an earthquake.
Okay.
It's tension, right? Eventually, one little thing. You don't know exactly when it's going to happen. No one can say exactly when an earthquake is going to happen, but we know it's going to happen eventually.
Exactly.
Same thing is the exact same way that revolution.
And do you think that that kind of situation comes from the government?
No, well, it's an interesting question. It starts, the first symptoms start with cracks in the government. They just can't manage the situation anymore while maintaining their own interests. So you see these cracks appear in the government, and it's when those cracks appear, that's when the anger that you see today with these movements that seem disconnected at first. But then suddenly they all start to come through these cracks, and people get really, we see it every year. There's revolutions every year.
I'm happy to see all this kind of protests because your people here in this country have a lot of things to fight.
Yeah, we do, and it's been a very sleepy country for a long time.
Okay.
So people are starting to wake up because no one can afford to live here anymore. I've lived here my whole life, and this used to be the affordable city, and in the past 5 years, I have been afraid to move because the rents have just doubled.
Yeah.
It's been like, I don't know, do you guys live here?
Well, we've been here for a long time, and the things, for example, after COVID was crazy.
It is
Becomes
crazy.
Yeah.
It really is. But yeah, so we're a revolutionary party because we understand that this tension is building. People are learning. You know, this
Okay.
isn't just protest. People are learning, and they
Okay.
will not forget. They will not forget this.
Okay.
And so as this continues, you know, eventually revolution happens. Like I said, it's been happening every year. In Sri Lanka, in Kazakhstan, in
Okay.
Sudan, all over the world, there's been revolutions happening.
Okay.
So the point of the Revolutionary Party is not to start the revolution.
So it is in the midst of all this social catastrophe that the Palestinian people in Canada get ready to mourn the pain and loss of all those who have died in the clashes between Palestine and Israel, making it clear that the Palestinian people are still standing, still singing, and still dancing in the hope that this subsidy to the armed forces by the current administration will soon stop.
تو رفتی ولی فکر تو سر من رو همیشه نبوده اما قلبم ترسون نبودم که تو باشی که من خسته ترینم ولی شون شده بودم وقتی تو
This is how a minuscule part of this movement that seeks to enter the hearts of all those spheres of power that forget that in the midst of all this there are children, women, old people, fathers, mothers, brothers and sisters, dying unnecessarily, fighting a war that is subsided by the dark side of the power. And everybody need to know that we need love, and more Mexican food for sure. Chill kill less. Chill all, kill less.
Suscríbete para más contenido. Tu comunicador, Chuck.
Rotor Digital, tu canal.